Okay, y'all, let's just jump right into this one. January the 1st is not the new year. I'm sorry to bust y'all bubble. Sorry to hurt your feelings, but no new year, no new year, no new year, no, no, no. I'm still down with my January 1st. Get up out of here. You can't have a new year in the middle of a cycle. It just don't work out like that. That's just like saying 4, 5 months, 4.5 months into labor, your new kid should be born, right? That's more like premature. So you know what I'm saying? It's a lot to it that we're gonna get into this right now, but it's a lot to why they chose January the 1st to become the new year. So you know what I'm saying. The first people that kind of recorded was first noted to had recorded the New Year's was the Babylonians. And the Babylonians they came up with this around 2000 BCE. You know what I'm saying? If you don't know what BCE is, that's before Common Era. You know, so you know what I'm saying. Just like they got the BC, before Christ. You know what I'm saying? Or CE, Common Era. You know, then they got like AD, Anno Domini, which means the year of the Lord. You know what I'm saying? The Jewish people usually use that back 100 years, over 100 years now. But you know what I'm saying? That ancient Babylons, they had this celebration that they honored the rebirth of the natural world, and they called it Akitu, Akata, Akitu, something like that. And Akata, basically is, you know what I'm saying, the beginning of spring. So that actually was the new year, you know, because everything become new on the planet around spring, right? But you know, Romulus, the founder of Rome, came up with their own calendar based on the phases of the moon. This calendar was the lunar calendar, and that was like 305 days. You know, can you imagine having a calendar that was only 305? That's crazy. So, you know what I'm saying? The lunar calendar was only like 305 days, and it had like 10 months. You know what I'm saying? Versus like a solar calendar, like the sun calendar was 365, which was like 12 months. You know what I'm saying? The Romans celebrated the new year at the vernal equinox. You know, it's two equinox. You know, you got the spring and then you got the fall. So, you know, when it's spring equinox, that means that the sun is just came above the equator and is shining its light back up north. And then the one that's in fall is actually when the sun fall beneath the equator. That's why they call it fall, because it falls beneath the equator. And then the other one is the they call it the Passover, because that's when the sun passed back over the equator, which is they like 6 months apart. You get Aries. One is Aries and one is Libra. That's why you see Libra with the scale one side up and the other side down, because the sun is up in the north the first 6 months of the year, and then it's beneath the equator for the other 6 months of the year. So you know what I'm saying? But we got that boy Numa Pompilius, who was elected by the citizens of Rome to be their king after Romulus died. You know what I'm saying? Because he ain't had nobody, he ain't had no kids and nothing, so he ain't had nobody to take the, you know what I'm saying, the kingdom from him. So they end up electing old Numa. You know what I'm saying? He was a peace-loving king. He didn't even want it at first, you know what I'm saying, because Rome was so much, they were so about war and all that, and he wasn't with all that. So, you know, he didn't really like all that war, like, to be basically, he didn't want to be representing no war-loving company or country or whatever, you know. So, you know what I'm saying, so Pompey was the first to create a fixed calendar. This calendar used the Collins, which was the first day of the month. They called it Collins the first day of the month. You know what I'm saying? What if it was Colin Bone, the first of the month? And yeah, Colin Bone. I mean, Collins is the word that they use. You know how like they use one word, and then from one word they'll take that and start coming up with other words from it. Well, Collins was that for calendar. Collins was where they got the name calendar from. You know what I'm saying? So, and then they had like Nonus, which was like the ninth day of the itis of the month. Itis always sound like it was like the disease of the month or something, but it was just basically the middle days of the month, and they call it the itis. You know what I'm saying? So by them using the lunar calendar, it was only 2 months out the year that wasn't counted for. You know, so they called the 2 months winter. Ain't that crazy? So that was like the old calendar, you know what I'm saying, where the last 2 months of the year was called winter. It's crazy because we still call it winter now, but it's got way more, it got more than 2 months now. But so it's three now, but you know, at this time the new year started in March, the beginning of spring. But old Pompilius decided he was going to add 2 more months to the calendar, you know what I'm saying, to the little Roman calendar, so it would match the solar calendar and have 12 months instead of 10, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, after that, the first month was named Janus in ancient Rome. You know what I'm saying? You know, Janus is like the supposed to be like the god that was supposed to be associated with doorways, beginnings, and transitions. You know, they always showed it with like two-faced. It was a weird. I'm gonna show you. It's a weird looking statue. It was always, you know, which meant basically. What did that mean? It mean the beginning of the year and the future. Basically the end of the year or whatever. So, you know, that's who they started, that was their little worship, was Janus. And then they had their second month, they called it Februaris. They always got that Februarius. You know? It was the month in Rome that was basically for purification and making offers and sacrifice to the god of the dead, the gods of the dead. You know what I'm saying? This took place on February the 15th. You know, when they gave their sacrifices and all that to their little god. You know, and you know how Collins being the first day of the calendar month, they decided to make the first day of the year January 1st, around 153 BCE, when the new councils was introduced to the group. You know, this was an important day for Romans because being on the council was one of the highest honors of Rome people at the time. You know, you was on the council, you was the man. You know, just like right now, like in today's world, if you're a part of like the high councils or the top peoples, you know what I'm saying, that was a big honor. That's a big honor for people, you know what I'm saying, to be a part of something big, I guess. You know what I'm saying? But then the little crazy dude come in 46 BCE, Julius Caesar. That's when Julius became the new emperor of Rome. Caesar felt like the calendar had too many errors, and he started working with Greek mathematicians and stuff to fix the problem he had with the calendar. You know, at this time there was a lot of leap years, and they reduced them down to just one every 4 years to use up the extra time each year. You know what I'm saying? So if you don't know, the sun goes around 365 days, 0.25. So you know what I'm saying? It goes around 365 days, but it also got a quarter of a day that they wasn't using. You know what I'm saying? So they used it, you know what I'm saying, for a whole day every 4 years in the leap year, because you know what I'm saying, every 4 years it equals one for a day that basically just pop up out of nowhere because it's calculating real space, you know? So you know how it is. How you gonna come up with? You got to come up with something to match them. Like, you can't just say, okay, I'm gonna take one notch out and it don't count. So you know, that's how they end up doing that. Then the Christians came through, and then they changed the calendar after Rome fell. Excuse me. They changed the first day on the calendar to March 25th, the Annunciation. You know, so then in 1582, Pope Gregory the 13th, he changed the calendar so they could line up to the Christian holidays, because you know, the way that it was going at the time, it wasn't lining up with their little holidays. So you know how it go. They got to change it to fit their way of doing things. You know, just like everybody, you know, doing history as we know now. But then in 1751, Lord Chesterfield of the British Parliament, he changed the calendar back to January the 1st and made it the new year again. Like, who told him to come back and do it again? And this is the thing that be killing me. Like, everybody keep coming back, changing things just because they in charge. You see how it go? You just got to be in charge. And you can change it to whatever you want to change it. You know? But, you know, it's more to it. But as far as, like, history stuff, like stuff that you could just look up and find out, you'll find out that one of the reasons why they use January the 1st as the New Year is because the star Sirius is at its most highest point in the cosmos. You know, and the Egyptians kind of linked that to it was like a flood that happened like every January, because you know when the sun is still beneath the equator, so it's down south in January 1st. So in Egypt, it's connected to the Nile floods. That's how they looked at it, you know. So it's like it's so much to it, but Ceres is one of the main reasons for it. That's the dog star. That's what you ever see in Egypt. They got that dog face looking thing. That's what that is. That's the worship of that. So no. January the 1st, the middle of winter, is not the new year. The new year comes with the new earth, which is March, spring. Till next time, Love to all, and to all, spread the light.